Hello and welcome to the return of the Unconventional Grower on plot 14, somewhere in the big wide world. Let's get to it. So I'm just going to walk you around the plot, as there's quite a bit of change that's happened since last time you were with me. Now, of course, life gets in the way. And that's the moral of the story here, is that life gets in the way. And found myself in a little bit of a pickle. Just as we noticed that the box house needs a bit of a repair. In fact, it needs more than a repair. That needs redoing. Anyway, they're just open, ready for a water. Now, I'll walk round. And yeah, so I found myself in a bit of a situation whereby every night of the week I've got something on. Every weekend, every day of the weekend, there's something on. And so the allotment got just cast aside. I think I've done one video back in April. And I've not even managed to post that. So I'm going to get my arse in gear and get that posted from where we stood back in April. Because it's obviously quite different to where we are today. But anyway, so yeah, I think I've managed to do 4 or 5 trips to the allotment this calendar year, just to get things in. But I really had to get my arse in gear because, like I say, we're only here 3, 4, 5 times this calendar year to do stuff. This was potatoes, and well, it's hard not to grow potatoes, and I've managed not to be able to grow them. So I've achieved something there. So yeah, where was I? Yeah, it was just a case of things going on, and every time I came back to the allotment, there were more things to do, get on top of you, and your happy place then becomes your not happy place. And it was a case of just, well, I'll do anything not to go up, really. And so that's the position I found myself in until about 2 weeks ago, where I'd come on and done a little bit of weeding, because the paths, well, as you can imagine, the paths were a bit overgrown, and this path was just wild with grass, like couch grass, running grass stuff. You'll see there the peas. I've done a really bad impersonation of peas. They're not going to do anything. Now these are an experiment, although that one, I have to use my teeth just to open that up and do as better job as I can to rescue what's inside it. And what's inside it is a chickpea. So these are just chickpeas that I dried out and then just rehydrated a little bit in some water. Oh look, some peas there. That's best I've had. So there you go, chickpea. That tastes absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I had to get my arse in gear. I did a bit of weeding, and then I was out on a walk, and one of the guys on the plot, I said, "Oh, I've got some wood chips for you." So I'm thinking, "Oh, thank you for that." Shame my plot isn't ready to accept them. So I had to do about 3 hours of weeding out, and then getting a load of wood chips that have been dumped for me, very kindly, over just behind the compost heap there, which is now all gone, separated between my patch and the next doors. So that took a few hours to get it all fettled out so it was ready to accept, because we keep getting these drops from the tree surgeon. Local tree surgeons just come on drop and it's a beautiful resource. But as you know, I depend on this for everywhere really, apart from there. As you can see, nothing's happened with the fruit cage that I've been banging on about last year. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Nothing's happened with the bench. The sanding is still the sanding that we did. But the stuff that's designed to just keep coming and coming, that's been reliable. We had 1 or 2 black currants. The rhubarb's still going strong. The apples are doing all right. We've got some there, Thornless blackberries doing its thing. We've got a few pears on the pears, and the strawberries are just gone absolutely wild. And when I came through and did the it's an onion there. It's out of place. Yeah, so when I came on, I had to just get my arse in gear and get it all fettled out, because it was just looking unyieldly. Figs doing nicely. I've got the volunteer sunflowers. That's the cherry that we've put in. I think if I swizzle around here, see the apples. These are cookers actually. I'll tell you a story about these little dig holes in a moment. Got one over there in amongst the courgettes. But again, we've had a really dry summer this time, and these things haven't even been on for a water. Well, no, I'll tell you a lie, they've been on once. And so that is parsnip. That's we're saving that for the seed for next time. As you can see round here, another volunteer sunflower. I've liked these, but yeah, I mean the potatoes, they rely on water, and because I've not been up and watered, let's just see. Yeah, I mean they'll be small offerings. So disappointment there. A couple of sunflowers, a bit of a volunteer lettuce. That's going to be a bitter as sin. The raspberries, we've had 1 or 2. There's one there that's just ripening up. I had 1 or 2, but that's about it. They're generally later on, these raspberries, so I don't mind that, and they've gone a bit wild, as you can see. But that's what we're meant to do. So that wouldn't have changed anything. Beetroot. Now I put in some yellow beetroot and some red beetroot, and if I can do this without clobbering myself, I'm gonna have to rest it on my head. There we go. Look at that. It's all right. That's coming on. 1 or 2 that's filling up. Those are the reds. This is the other kale. I should harvest that before it's too late, otherwise they'll go in the way of the Chinese cabbage. I had 1 or 2 harvests of the Chinese cabbage which was in the top box house, and well, as you can imagine, the slugs have had them. I'll step over there, go past the artichokes. These are the Chinese cabbage. They were alright until I neglected them, and they look like they're food for the slugs and the snails, which is a disappointment because this bed's doing nothing. 1 or 2 volunteer artichokes that got put in a while back. That's a watermelon, and these are, apart from that thing, they're just a nuisance. These are Cape gooseberries that I sowed. Pepper, that's going to do nothing. Apple tree, we ended up pulling back into position. If you remember last year, we're leaning. We got a lean on it. So yeah, in the box houses we've got tomatoes. Some of these were volunteer, some were intentionally put in as well. They're not the Cherry Falls, because the Cherry Falls variety did nothing when at sowing time. We've got some kind of marrow over there. It's either going to be marrow. Ow. It's either going to be marrow or cucumber, but that look like a marrow courgette in that family. This one is there. There's one. Look at that beauty across there. We've not done too. Again, I've only been on for like 5 or 6 times. Just a bit of effort, and we've turned it round. Look at that cucumber there. Just there, looking all right. 1 or 2 weeds in there, no doubt. I need to give this a water. In fact, I need to give it a right good douse of watering, because lo and behold, I'm not going to be up for another week after Thursday, as we're going on our holly bobs. So sweet corn filling up. That looks pretty decent, that. I'm happy with that. Volunteers. Anyway, I was going to tell you a story. So one of the days when I was fettling out, I was around here, and I got my green kneeling pad out, and I decided to get up and just wander over here. Oh, there's a raspberry over there. Anyway, I went over there, and I was just weeding out in this corner here. I might have been putting the wood chips down, and I could see this animal, brown, at the corner of my eye, and I thought that's a bit too big for a cat. So I stood up, and lo and behold, over here, I was just stood about here, and over there was a fox, and it got my kneeling pad in its mouth, and it was just wandering around. Off it was trotting. Anyway, it put it down, and I got it back. So I'll put some photos of the said fox. Freddy Fox. It was a little cub. I think there's another cub and its parent around. Anyway, I'm flailing the camera around. A little chat. A return chat. White currants, red currants. That's the Dalek deciding to have a sleep. Blueberries. Yes. Need to get in here. Plumage. Needless to say, the asparagus that was growing in here we've not managed to get into, as there has been no small child helping me either. Let's try and traverse this area without knocking any fruit off, because even though back at home there's no plums, we've managed to retain these in here. I have had a bit of a harvest of the red currants. Managed to get up. So that's where we are. That is the update, really. Just to waft the camera around. Rhubarb's still going strong. There's plenty here. That's worth a harvest, is that? And that apple tree, I think, needs just a bit of a spragging up a bit. There's one there as well that's not looking too bad. Oh, finally, yes, we're around here. So this here, this pond there is a avocado that has taken homage. That's all probably last year's, even the year before's. Kitchen scraps. These are all kitchen scraps, so these are actually going to be my main harvest, my main crop for potatoes. I'm having to rely on harvest from the compost heaps, which is a sad state of affairs, really. Might get 1 or 2 round here. There were some big old potatoes than last time. These here, this is a competition that we're having for allotment show, and that's one of the 2 spuds. Meant to be the heaviest. I reckon I'll win the prize for lightest. The other one's over here. I'll come to it now. I've come up to water. Not come up to dope. Just to give you guys a look. Look at them sorry things. Dear me. As you can imagine, oh look at that. There's a solitary red currant there. As you can imagine, the red currants have been pecked to death. So yeah, so this is the other one. I'm hoping this is going to fare a little bit better. But yeah, there's the beetroot there. So I'm going to give this a bit of water. I'm just going to do it by hand today. I'm not going to get the watering system on. Broads. That's just probably a reflection of where we are with the broads. That's not because they've died off actually. That's just because I didn't do that many this time. We did the sowing of the seeds from last time. There's one or two there that's just gone, so that'll be seed. These will get harvested before I go on holiday, Bobs. I'll take them up. Take them on holiday with me. Fennel. I put some fennel in this time. Let's have a look at it. Oh, look at that there. Oh, we ain't got a stick. We ain't got a doings. We ain't got a prop. This might go wrong. Again, I'll have to balance it on my head. There, look. Courgette. Fennel. I can't get to the root. There, look at that. Look at that. That's looking alright. I might have to get that in the back of our holly bobs. Where's that courgette? There he is, look at that. Just down there. I'll have to get harvested and taken up. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be one or two lurking in here. No doubt there'll be size of bloody dragons when we get back. So, on that note, we will leave you to it. That's been a 17-minute video. I don't want to be doing long videos this time. I want to keep them quite short and snappy. 5 minutes will do. Right, so thank you for joining once again, rejoining, and we'll see you on the next video.